I met Daniel on a rainy afternoon outside a small cafe. I was rushing to escape the downpour when he opened the door for me. His smile was warm, and his eyes had a spark that made me forget the cold rain. We ended up sharing a table because the place was full. That day, we spoke for hours. It felt like I'd known him for years. He told me he worked in a bookshop nearby, and I told him I was a teacher. We swapped numbers, and soon we were talking every day. Weeks turned into months. Daniel was everything I thought I wanted: kind, attentive, and always ready to make me laugh. He'd surprise me with flowers, send sweet messages in the middle of the day, and hold my hand like he'd never let go. My friends said we looked perfect together. One evening, while we were walking along the river, he stopped and looked at me with those warm eyes. "I think I'm falling in love with you," he said softly. My heart skipped a beat. I felt the same, and I told him so. We kissed under the streetlight, and it felt like a scene from a film. But love can hide shadows. About a year later, I started noticing changes. Daniel became distant. He plans at the last minute or disappear for hours without explaining. Whenever I asked, he'd smile and say, "Just busy with work." I wanted to believe him, so I did. One rainy Friday, I decided to surprise him at the bookshop with lunch. When I walked in, he wasn't there. His colleague said he'd left early. Confused, I called him, but he didn't answer. Something in my chest tightened. Later that evening, I saw him, but he wasn't alone. He was across the street, laughing with a woman I'd never seen before. She had her arm hooked through his, and he looked at her in the way he used to look at me. My legs felt weak, and the world seemed quieter. I didn't confront him that night. Instead, I waited for him to call, but he didn't. The next day, I asked to meet. We sat in the same cafe where we'd first met, but this time his eyes didn't sparkle. "I'm sorry," he said, avoiding my gaze. "I didn't mean for this to happen. I met someone else." Those words cut deeper than I expected. I left without finishing my tea. The weeks that followed were heavy. I missed him, but I also missed the person I thought he was. Slowly, I realized I didn't lose someone who loved me, I lost someone who pretended. Months later, I walked past that same cafe. The rain was falling again, and for the first time, it didn't hurt to remember. Love had turned cold, but I had survived.